Hello guys, welcome to another episode of the Red Devils Disciples. Your boy Rob here with a roundup from the Man United West Ham game that just finished. Eighth place versus sixth place as the game started, but it's almost flipped. Final score being 3-0 to Man United. Great win for us. Takes us within 8 points over fourth place Villa. 6 points to Spurs. Let's talk about the game a little bit. So the first half, it almost started off like a bit of a sparring session. Neither team wanted to overcommit and push forward too much. Each team being a bit more tentative. I would say West Ham looked the better of both teams in terms of getting forward with the ball. And then against the run of play, Højlund, the birthday boy, with a great goal in the 23rd minute, was taking the ball to his left to try and take a shot. Or, his favoured left foot. Faked it, took it to the right, and smashed it into the bottom corner. Honestly, looked like a striker full of confidence today, getting on the ball non-stop. Good assist from Casemiro, where it was almost a 50-50 ball, but Casemiro looked like he wanted it more, diving in for the ball, which was obviously exactly what we want to see. After this, it looked like a crunchy first half with some really strong tackles from both sides going in. Exactly what you want to see from a Man United West Ham game, essentially. West Ham having more of the shots in the first half. Sorry, I've got the Liverpool-Arsenal game in the background on here. So West Ham having more shots of the game in the first half. But let's be honest with you, most of them were from the edge of the box, outside of the box, not really being any danger to us at the point. There was one attack in the 5th minute where Onana was forced to make a good save. That was a big moment for Onana's game and for Man United. In the second half, we had Maguire making a mistake against Emerson just after the half. Left Emerson with a 1-on-1. Again, another big moment. Emerson luckily skied the shot, but it was one of those where an individual mistake once again led to a 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. Garnacho got a lovely goal and to take it to 2-0. It did take a deflection, but at the end of the day, it was still a good goal. The ball was going on target prior to being shot. But one of those where I think the goal just the deflection took past the keeper. Post the goal, it seemed that Man United sort of woke up. We had a couple of good chances. Some chances were I think Rashford had a couple of chances. Dalot had a good chance. Bruno had a shot himself. And it looked like Man United were just up for it more in after the goal. Maino was taken off early because it was one of those where I think we want to sort of preserve him for the future games. We've got Villa coming up next week, and that's a massive game. So he was taken off on the 63rd minute or 62nd minute, I believe. And then 5 minutes later, Martinez got taken off. And this is the big worry from today's game. Martinez came off with what looked like a knee issue. He went down after Soucek, I think, landed on him. He tried to come back onto the pitch, but wasn't able to stay on the pitch. 2 minutes later, he was asking for the sub. And then post this, again, Maguire with a misjudged header. Ball went over him, got to Bowen, and luckily Diego Dalot made a great run from the opposite wing, and just with what is a goal-saving tackle, because this would have been a goal. He was 1-on-1 with Onana in a much better position to the first time, and it just, out of nowhere, he almost slid and dived in there and blocked the ball, which was, like I said, a goal-saving tackle. Bruno started pulling the strings from here on. I know it was 2-0, but it was almost like he was starting to take more control, and no surprise that Bruno was the one who assisted Garnacho in the 84th minute to kill the game off at 3-0. At the end of the day, it was a very dominant game, and a very dominant win, should I say, but it could have easily gone in a different way. The stats for the game themselves are, we had 51% possession, we had 12 shots and 5 shots on target, which is quite a low number of shots for a home game for us. On the flip side, West Ham had 22 shots with 3 shots on target. Now what that does tell you is, although they were having more shots, the shots were from further out, we didn't really allow them to get into the box to take comfortable shots. They had to take it from quite far out. And individual errors almost cost us the game. And that's something that we have been talking about. Or not cost us the game, but almost cost us the lead that we had. Almost cost us a few goals. And in a tighter game, that would cost us the game. Over to selection. This was a selection that I said that I would have gone with. And it was one of these situations where, even though I said this was a selection I would have gone with, completely understand if Bayindir or Onana played, because that's what I said Eric Ten Hag would go with. And the ultimate final starting lineup was actually what I predicted Ten Hag would go with, but a substitute of Varane for Maguire. So Maguire got a run out today. I know he played well last year in the home game against West Ham, and to be fair, until recently, till Martinez got back and before his injury, Maguire did have a good run of games where he looked like a very good player on the pitch for us. Again, completely understandable that he was on the pitch today. And obviously, the gaffer said in the pre-match interview, like just before the game, that he was resting Varane because he'd had 3 games in a week and felt like Varane needed a little bit of a break, so he went with Maguire. In goal, obviously we had Onana. I've given him a 6.5 out of 10. Had a good game, had a decent game, very solid. He had one big save, which was the 5th minute, where it should have been a goal, and he dived to the side, saved it really well. But that almost set the mindset for the team in terms of nothing's getting through today. Had that gone in, it would have been a very different game today. But I'm really happy to say that he had a good game, made a few other couple saves, but nothing where he was reaching or anything that should have been expected to be a goal. Everything was defended really well from outside the box by the team. At left back, obviously I had Shaw. I've given him a 6.5 again today. A decent game, solid at the back, good tackling, good closing down, didn't let anything through his side. Offensively, didn't really contribute too much today, but it didn't matter because what he did was shut up shop at the back, and we were already scoring goals with our attackers today. On the right back, we had Diego Dalot. Again, similar to Shaw, didn't really create much in terms of offensively today. Almost like the wing backs were kept back a little bit more today. But in the 68th minute, oh my God, the tackle he made, he did stop a goal from going in. And that would have made it 2-1, and the whole mindset of the game would have shifted at that point. At centre-back, I have Martinez. I gave him a 7 out of 10 today. I thought he was closing down really well. He was always first to the ball, always the one stepping up to make the tackle, communicating really well with the rest of the defence. And you can see again today why we have really missed him. The worry with Martinez is he came off on the 68th minute, holding his knee, and Varane came on for him. But we'll wait to see what they say in post-match interviews and the pre-match interview for the next game against Villa. See what they say, whether he's able to play or not. Then we had Harry Maguire. He made a big tackle at the 37th minute, and I've given him a 5.5. He made a big tackle, and it was a counter-attack from Johnson, who had the ball dribbling in, and it was very dangerous, but he flew in for that tackle, almost to the point where I think that if Johnson actually goes behind the ball, he would have taken Johnson with the ball. I have given him 5.5 because he made 2 big mistakes today. One was the missed kick on the 47th minute, where he gave the ball away for a 1-on-1, and then the misjudge of the header, which gave another 1-on-1 for Bowen this time on the 68th minute, and Dalot basically pulled him out of it. I think with Maguire, he's just getting back from injury, so I have no doubt he'll get better if he plays more. I don't think he'll play against Villa. I think it will be Varane who steps back in. However, it's not a bad person to have that you can rotate into the starting lineup when needed. And again, with potentially Martinez's injury, it may be that Maguire and Varane play on next weekend, but we'll have to wait to see. I've got Casemiro here, where I've given him a 7.5. Had a good assist for Højlund, where a loose ball looked like a 50-50, and he dove in for it, should I say, and managed to get the ball to Højlund, and his hustle meant that Højlund got the opportunity to score the goal that he did. Kept dropping back between the centre backs when a centre back either dribbled forward past him, or if there was a counter attack, almost making it a 5-back at certain points. But he also, if Martinez got the ball and dribbled forward, or Maguire dribbled the ball forward, he'd slot into centre back behind them, making sure that there were no holes in our defence. So it was really good defending from his part. A couple of good battles in midfield with Thomas Soucek. And I'll be honest with you, I think he won the battle today. He won that key tackle that got the Højlund goal. He took the ball off Soucek and gave it to Rashford. when Soucek then got the yellow card, which meant that he was playing tentatively for the rest of the game. I think Casemiro had a really good game today. I've got Mainu apart from that. I've got him. I gave him a 6.5 today. Good game, nothing special, but very calm, cool, collective. You looked at him and he just looked like he was just the coolest guy on the pitch right now. Like, it's so calm. Nothing's rattling him. He takes his time. He almost looks like he's taking his time with everything, but he's actually moving at fast speeds. It's great to watch an academy product come through and play this way. He was subbed off in the 63rd minute for McTominay, but we're going to McTominay later when we talk about our subs. In front of him, they had Bruno Fernandes, who got a lovely assist for Garnacho, spreading the ball around, and he just generally had a good game. Today. So Bruno got the second goal assist, so the one in the 48th minute. I think I said before that he spread the ball and gave it to Garnacho for the third goal, but that was actually Scott McTominay that did that, but we'll go into that later. Man of the match today, Garnacho, 2 great goals. The first goal came at a key time for us, right after the half, and normally we're on the receiving end of this, but today we were on the attacking end of this, where, to be honest with you, the ball did take a deflection, and that took it past the keeper. The shot was going on target, but I think the deflection is what made it really hard for Fabianski, who subbed in at half time for Areola. I think it was deemed a precautionary thing because he took a head bump, but it took it past Fabianski. Fabianski couldn't do anything after the deflection. He was already diving, and a ball deflected off the defender and went into the back of the net. And then calm and cool in the 84th minute, killed the game off again with another great goal. This time he was going to his right with his right foot, so again it was good to see Garnacho sort of stepping up today and taking over. It was good to see all of our attackers starting to step up and really taking ownership of Man United's attack today and scoring goals and everything. We had Rashford on the opposite wing. On the left side, I gave him a 6.5. I thought Rashford had a decent game today. Had a couple of opportunities, but didn't really get a hold of the ball to score a goal. He could have done better in a couple, I'm not going to lie, but he didn't have a bad game. He looked like he was really trying to attack defenders, really get involved in team play. So again, it's a big improvement from what we saw from Rashford a couple of months ago. It's good to see this. It probably helps to have Luke Shaw behind him, Casemiro behind him, having Martinez behind him, and all of them sort of giving him different avenues and spaces to pass the ball into. But I think also there's been a shift in mindset in terms of attacking defenders, whereas previously you would have got it, stopped, looked, passed it back. Almost the last few games we started to see him look for the gaps, trying to force something to happen. And when he stops thinking and just starts running, Rashford is at his best. When he stops to think, he just doesn't have that acceleration to explode past the player once he's stopped his momentum. Up front we had Rasmus Højlund, the birthday boy today, who scored a great goal on the 23rd minute. It's his 4th goal in a row now in 4 games. He has 6 goal contributions in 4 games. Tell me that this guy isn't coming good now. Only 21 years old today. Again, bright future ahead for us with him. Very positive stuff, and I want to see that continue against Villa next week because we're going to need him to score a couple goals. Moving on to our subs, we have McTominay, who came on in the 63rd minute, had a good assist for Garnacho's second goal, so well done to him. Varane, who came on the 68th minute, but looked very solid. And then on the 87th minute, Lindelof and Antony came on for Shaw and Højlund. I thought they didn't really have much to do, but the little that they had to do, they did pretty well. The standards definitely didn't drop when these guys came on, which was the key point here. Final score, I predicted a 2-0, and the final score was 3-0, so it's almost there, But I've noticed that coming 10 minutes to the end of the match, my scores are spot on, but there's always goals in the last few minutes which sort of throw it off the whack. I'm moving on from there, obviously, just a little bit, we'll talk about our little focuses that we spoke about in the pre-match, and that was 90 minutes where we have 90 minutes of focus, should I say, not having spells where we make mistakes and let them in with a couple goals. I thought we, as a team, we did pretty well to keep focus throughout the 90 minutes. There was no real drop-off in terms of focus. There were periods of dominance from West Ham, but I think that was to be expected because they were going to push up on us today. They did run a slightly different formation to their normal formation. For the first time today, they played a 3-4-3, partly because defenders for them came back, and I think partly was to sort of cancel out our wingers, and it kind of worked pretty well for them. The only difference was we started attacking through the middle instead of through the wing, and that kind of caught them off guard. Two was to be wary of the counterattacks, and barring a couple individual mistakes, we were pretty good on the counter-attack today, making sure that they are, and I suppose this one's linked with the third one, which is the individual errors. Barring the two Maguire errors, we'll say, we were pretty good at stopping counter-attacks, pretty good at being patient with the ball. We took our time in build-up, and it was one of those where we controlled the tempo, even though they had more shots than we did. And then the third point was individual errors, like I just mentioned. We've been having too many of those lately, and luckily today it was, like I said, Maguire and not Onana. And this is the problem with the team at the moment. It's individual errors are leading to big chances for oppositions, and we've been punished a lot this season for those things. I do think it's just one of those when Maguire's coming back from injury, he's not fully fit yet. And it's his first start since his injury, so it's good to see him out there. But I obviously want him to take those minor errors out of his game, because against a big team, for example Villa, who are firing on all cylinders at the moment, those will be punished. And then just our final thoughts on the game, guys, before we close out for the day. It was a game of two halves ultimately today. West Ham dominated is a strong way of putting it, but they played better than we did in the first half. And then a moment of individual brilliance from Højlund gave us the 1-0 lead. And then United's second half almost sort of transformed how we were playing, which meant that we took over, and that Garnacho 2-0 was a big difference maker, because all of a sudden the players looked relaxed, they were spreading the ball, we were still attacking, we weren't rushing things, and it made a big difference to us. And obviously we ended up scoring that third goal to kill the game off, which we haven't done enough of recently. And a good clean sheet for us today also. We haven't had many of those in recent weeks, so it's nice to see Onana getting a clean sheet for himself today. I think it's a case of now just keeping momentum going, just making sure that we end up building as many points as we can to try and catch up to the top four, and we'll take it one game at a time. Next week we've got a big game against 4th place Villa, who are currently 8 points ahead of us. If we beat them, we bring it down to 5 points, which would be massive for us. Obviously the Spurs in between, that if they win, they will be 6 points ahead of us, but the point is we need to start clawing back as many points as we can, so we just need to go on a winning run now, and try and get that for sports. Big game today between Liverpool and Arsenal. If anyone is interested to watch it, just thought I'd mention it. Apart from that, guys, I just want to say thank you for your time today. Thank you for watching. Thanks for your likes. Thanks for your comments. Thanks for sharing. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. Don't forget to turn on notifications, and I'll see you in a couple of days, where I will be posting my buy list, which is linked to the sell list that I made a week ago. About a week ago. Sorry. It was linked to my sell list, but that buy list obviously will come soon. Guys, have a lovely day. Take care. I'll be watching some more football. Peace.